The story begins with Alex, a 25-year-old tech enthusiast who lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Fascinated by the internet's mysteries, Alex had spent countless hours exploring its nooks and crannies. But nothing intrigued him more than the dark web, a hidden realm of the internet where secrets thrived and danger lurked. One night, after months of reading about it, Alex decided to take the plunge. He downloaded a secure browser, activated his VPN, and dove into the dark web. Initially, he found forums discussing conspiracy theories, black market goods, and encrypted chat rooms. It was thrilling but seemed harmless, until he stumbled upon a mysterious link titled The Red Room. Curiosity got the better of him, and he clicked the link. The screen turned black, and a single red text appeared. "Do you want to watch?" A chill ran down Alex's spine. He hesitated but typed, "Yes." Suddenly, a live video feed appeared. The setting was a dimly lit room with a single chair in the center. A person, bound and gagged, sat trembling in the chair. The chat on the side of the screen exploded with messages. "Break a finger, burn him, make him scream." Alex's stomach churned. This wasn't a prank or a movie. It was real. Panicking, he tried to close the browser, but the screen froze. A message popped up. "Leaving so soon, Alex?" His heart sank. How did they know his name? He unplugged his computer, hoping to escape whatever this was. But it didn't end there. That night, as Alex lay in bed, his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number read, "You shouldn't have left." Terrified, he looked out the window. Across the street, a shadowy figure stood under a flickering streetlight, staring directly at his house. Over the next few days, Alex's life spiraled into a nightmare. He started receiving packages, an unmarked envelope with a single bullet inside, a severed doll's head, and a flash drive. Against his better judgment, he plugged the drive into an old laptop. It contained a video of him sitting at his desk the night he accessed the dark web. Someone had been watching him. Desperate, Alex contacted the police. But without tangible evidence, they dismissed his claims as paranoia. That night, his electricity went out. As he fumbled for his flashlight, he heard footsteps inside the house. "Who's there?" Alex shouted, his voice trembling. No answer, just the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps. He locked himself in his bedroom and called 911. As he whispered his address, the call dropped. Then his phone buzzed again. Another message. "There's no escape, Alex." The doorknob rattled. In a frenzy, Alex grabbed a baseball bat and braced himself. The door burst open, but no one was there. Instead, a laptop sat on the floor, its screen glowing. A live feed of his bedroom appeared on the screen. He was being watched in real time. A distorted voice echoed from the laptop. "Join us or we'll make you disappear." Alex's scream echoed through the empty house. The next morning, Alex was gone. His house was eerily quiet, his belongings untouched. The only clue was his laptop, left open on the desk. The screen displayed a dark web chat room with a single message. "Another show tonight. Don't miss it." To this day, Alex's disappearance remains unsolved, but rumors circulate on the dark web about a new participant in the Red Room. Some say it's Alex, now forced to perform for an unseen audience. Others claim it's just another victim in the endless abyss of the dark web. And for those brave, or foolish, enough to explore it, the message remains clear. The dark web sees all, and it never forgets. Weeks passed since Alex's disappearance, and his case became a cold file in the local police department. However, for Emily, Alex's childhood friend, the mystery was far from over. She couldn't accept that Alex had simply vanished without a trace. A tech-savvy journalist with a knack for uncovering secrets, Emily decided to dig into his last known activities. She started by visiting Alex's house, which had been abandoned since his disappearance. The eerie silence of the place sent chills down her spine. Dust-covered furniture and scattered papers painted a picture of a life interrupted. But what caught her attention was Alex's laptop, still sitting on his desk, screen cracked but faintly glowing. Emily powered it on, and the familiar dark web browser opened automatically. The last link Alex had clicked, the Red Room, stared back at her. A sense of dread washed over her, but curiosity and her determination to find answers pushed her forward. As she clicked the link, the same question appeared. "Do you want to watch?" Emily hesitated but typed, "Yes." The screen went black for a moment before the live feed started. This time, the room was different, darker, colder, with faint whispers in the background. A figure sat bound to the chair, their face obscured by a black hood. Emily's breath hitched as the chat began to flood with familiar commands. "Cut the ropes. Reveal the face. Make them scream." Emily's journalistic instincts kicked in. She took screenshots, noting the usernames in the chat and the details of the room. But as she prepared to close the browser, the video feed changed. The camera zoomed in on a wall behind the chair. A series of photographs were pinned there, and one of them was Alex. Emily's hands trembled as she realized the others were missing persons from her town, people who had vanished over the past year. Before she could process the information, a new message popped up on her screen. "Welcome, Emily." Her blood ran cold. How did they know her name? A distorted voice filled her speakers. "We've been waiting for you." The screen flickered, and suddenly the live feed was no longer of the dark room. It was of her. The camera feed showed Emily sitting at Alex's desk, staring at the laptop. Panic set in as she looked around the room, but no one was there. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number read, "Leave and you'll end up like Alex." Ignoring the warning, Emily grabbed the laptop and left the house. She spent the next few days poring over the screenshots and the chat logs, trying to find a lead. She discovered a recurring username, Master Vex, who seemed to control the Red Room. Through relentless digging, Emily traced the username to a private forum, hidden deep within the dark web. She infiltrated the forum, posing as a participant, and found disturbing conversations about shows and new participants. One post caught her attention. "The next show is special. A journalist joins the game." Emily's heart sank. They were talking about her. The following night, her apartment was plunged into darkness. Her phone, laptop, and even the landline stopped working. A single knock echoed from her front door. She peered through the peephole but saw no one. Then came the sound of her balcony door sliding open. Emily grabbed a kitchen knife and hid in her closet, heart pounding. From her hiding spot, she heard heavy footsteps and faint whispers. "We warned you." The whispers grew louder, almost deafening, as if they were inside her head. Suddenly, the closet door flung open, and a figure loomed over her, wearing a featureless white mask. She screamed, but no one heard her. The next morning, Emily's apartment was empty. The police found no signs of a struggle, just her laptop sitting on the coffee table. On the screen was a live feed of the Red Room. A new participant was bound to the chair, a woman with a familiar face. It was Emily. The chat exploded with messages. "Start the game. No mercy." Some say Emily's determination to find Alex sealed her fate. Others believe she uncovered something too big, too dangerous. The Red Room continued its dark broadcasts, and its audience grew, feeding on the terror of the unknown. And somewhere in the shadows of the dark web, a chilling message remains. Curiosity kills. Watch, and you'll see why. Emily's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community. Local news reported her as another missing person, but those close to her knew better. Her friend Ryan, a cybersecurity expert, had received a cryptic email from Emily the night before she vanished. The subject line read, "If anything happens to me." The email contained screenshots of the Red Room, chat logs, and a single message. "They know I'm watching. Don't let them win." Determined to uncover the truth, Ryan began piecing together the clues. He was no stranger to the dark web, but knew the risks. Before diving in, he set up layers of encryption and firewalls to protect himself. With Emily's files as his guide, he retraced her steps, starting with the forum linked to Master Vex. The deeper he dug, the more unsettling the posts became. Participants spoke in coded language about shows, new performers, and audience requests. Ryan realized this wasn't just a sick game. It was an organized network. One thread caught his eye. Special guests joined the finale. Don't miss it. The thread included a countdown timer. 3 days, 12 hours, 15 minutes. Ryan's gut told him this was the key to finding Emily and Alex. Over the next few days, Ryan's life became a whirlwind of paranoia. His computer would freeze unexpectedly. His phone buzzed with unknown numbers, and he felt eyes on him wherever he went. Then a package arrived at his doorstep. Inside was a single USB drive and a note. "You're invited." Against his better judgment, Ryan plugged the drive into a secure computer. A video file played, showing a live feed of Emily in the Red Room. She was bound to the chair, her face pale and her eyes filled with fear. A distorted voice spoke. "Your turn to watch, Ryan, or join." The screen went black, replaced by coordinates and a date, the same as the countdown timer. Ryan knew he was walking into a trap, but he couldn't abandon Emily. On the night of the finale, he followed the coordinates to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The building loomed in the darkness, its broken windows and graffiti-covered walls exuding an air of foreboding. Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating. Dim red lights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Ryan's footsteps echoed as he made his way deeper into the building. Finally, he reached a room with a single laptop sitting on a table. The screen lit up as he approached. A live feed of the Red Room appeared, but this time there were 2 chairs. Emily was in one, and the other was empty. The distorted voice returned. "Welcome, Ryan. Take a seat." Behind him, the door slammed shut. Ryan turned to see masked figures blocking the exit. They moved silently, herding him toward the chair. As Ryan sat down, the screen changed. The chat exploded with excitement. 2 for the price of 1. "Let the games begin," Emily whispered. "Don't say a word. They're watching." The masked figures strapped Ryan to the chair, then left the room. The distorted voice returned, louder this time. "The audience decides your fate. Shall we vote?" The chat, filled with horrific suggestions. "Shock them. Blindfold first. Let Emily choose." Ryan's mind raced. He had prepared for this moment, planting a virus in his laptop before leaving. If he could trigger it remotely, he could disable their network. But his phone was gone, and his hands were bound. Emily noticed his struggle and whispered, "Your watch." Ryan realized his smartwatch was still active. Using subtle wrist movements, he activated the virus. The room's lights flickered, and the laptop screen glitched. The chat filled with confusion. "What's happening?" "Someone's hacking us." The distorted voice roared, "You think you can outsmart us?" The masked figures stormed back into the room, but Ryan's virus had already done its job. The laptop sparked, and the feed went dead. In the chaos, Emily managed to free herself and untied Ryan. They ran through the labyrinth of the warehouse, pursued by the masked figures. Just as they reached the exit, a piercing alarm echoed through the building. Red lights flashed, and a distorted voice boomed, "You can't escape. We'll find you." But Ryan and Emily didn't stop. They fled into the night, disappearing into the woods surrounding the warehouse. The following day, news broke of a massive raid on an underground dark web network. Authorities found the warehouse abandoned, with evidence of illegal broadcasts and the identities of several participants. But Master Vex remained at large. Ryan and Emily went into hiding, their lives forever changed. Though they had escaped, the dark web's shadow loomed over them. Late one night, Ryan received an email from an unknown sender. The subject line read, "You won this time. But the game isn't over." Attached was a single image, a live feed of his new hiding place.